I was at the Women's March with my daughter and two of my granddaughters down in Washington, D.C. And while we were there, they were telling us to stop talking, stand up, and run. And my daughter turned to me and said, "Mom, it's your turn." So I did. I came back. There was an open position in Marlborough at the time because our former representative had resigned, and I stood up and did it.
I've been knocking doors, talking to people who can vote about why they should, talking to other high school students who can't vote about why they should make sure their parents and their older friends are voting, make sure as many people as possible are coming out on November 6th to vote for Democrats.
Voters in New Hampshire have laid the groundwork for a history-making House race come this year's midterm elections.
So we're really going to put together an effort that is of, by, and for the people of New Hampshire, and we're going to win this the New Hampshire way. And that's by reaching out and connecting with voters, understanding their concerns, and giving voice to them in our campaign.
I have noticed a lot more people involved this year than I have ever seen before.
And I'm seeing people, elderly people, young people, professionals, retirees that are coming to canvas launches, coming to help around offices, things that I didn't see in 14. Now in 2018, I'm seeing so many people energized and so many people feeling that urgency.
My district, 16, is 6% more Republican than Democrat. And I won that seat by 11 points. It was a 17-point swing. For me, public education for our kids is of the utmost importance. If we want to stand up to things going on now, we have to get out and vote in the midterm elections.
This midterm, it seems to be a lot different than the past. I'm here to advocate and work for families and seniors and from native-born to refugees.
I was really surprised by the amount of people that rallied behind me when I decided to run for the special election. One of the coolest things that was a result of that was that I had so many people come up to me and tell me that they had never voted in their lives before, and I inspired them to vote, to make a change.
We can make the difference, so every Latino vote counts, and every Latinos need to go out and vote and be a conduit of change.
It is time that New Hampshire once again had a governor who put the people first, and I will be that governor.
Everybody always says this is the most important election, but this one really, truly is. And I think we've forgotten people that are struggling. I mean, there's so many people that don't have a good job, that they can't afford child care. Mental health is a big issue for me. So I think the Democrats really focus on the basic needs of everyday people.
I'm going to fight for Social Security and Medicare, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that they're sustainable for the long run. We also have much work to be done in terms of the workplace. Paid family and medical leave is a big issue here in New Hampshire. I think it should be an issue nationally.
I'm so inspired by the people who are running. I mean, so many people that are first-time candidates because they themselves felt that urgency.
New Hampshire has never had a person of color elected to the state senate, and if elected, I will be the first. I think it's important that everyone has a seat at the table, that we have a diversity of people and a diversity of ideas.
I was born in Afghanistan myself. Women were blocked in our country where they cannot vote, so we have the fairness and we have the opportunity, and I would like everybody to go out and vote and be heard, because your voice, your vote really mattered in this election.
Something I love about New Hampshire is its history of local government. I've met every single candidate that's on the ballot, and I think that's very unique in New Hampshire, especially for a 17-year-old student, to be able to be knocking doors and making calls for a bunch of people that he's met and he knows what they stand for.
The only way that we can make change is if we become politically active.
This is not the time to sit on the sidelines. This is the time that we all need to stand up and say, we care and we're going to do what's right for our country. And I think we should pick the people who are promising to do that.
We all know what's at stake in this election. It all comes down to Tuesday. We need to do everything that we can get out the vote in these last few days and hours. Let's get to work.
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 Tenemos que trabajar.
Let's get